Hi, everybody. I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Candy.
So we are hopping on to do a kind of mini masterclass with topics that we're talking about through our membership, which is Healing Your Human with Candy and Katie.
Long, awkward pause. Oh, you're talking to me. This is what life is like for us. So, one of the things that we really talk a lot about during our memberships and in our master classes that we do together is programming your mind for success, because self-talk and how you think about things really trickles down into everything. It it reinforces your belief system. It reprograms your DNA. It messes with your frequency and your ability to bring in goodness, and it really helps to shift you out.
I don't exactly know what happened, but all the cats are by the back door, and then one got startled, and then they all jumped straight up in the air and scattered. I don't know if you heard that. There was
I
like
didn't.
nails and like everything. It was just I'm trying to focus on what you're saying, and all I hear is like, right. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's okay. If you send me the raw video, I can always edit, clip stuff out if we need to. Or we
Well,
could
this
just
is
restart. We could just restart or just leave it like it is. Nobody
I
cares.
was gonna say leave it as is. Let people see who we really are. Like,
And what it's really like to be on a call with us.
yeah, you really never know. You never know. Um, Candy has everything nice and organized, and I'm like, all right, let's wing it and go. Yeah, and that's how I teach, and that's how she teaches, and so it's a really good balance. Anyway, sorry, back to you, Candy. Before the cats had a, I don't even know what.
So we're talking about self-talk and reprogramming your mind for success. Um, so what we're wanting to do is to really figure out and explain how to shift from the more negative mindset. And the reason why we want to shift out of that is because that negative self-talk is reprogramming your DNA to the lower frequencies. And it convinces your body to make those low vibe emotions and reinforces the behaviors into self-destruct mode. It really stagnates your energy. It keeps you less than whenever we are programmed naturally to be so much more and to do so much more and to have and be abundant. So, some of the things that you want to focus on are the little moments when you catch your thought system putting yourself down. When you hear yourself say, "I can't believe you dropped that dumb ninny." I used to do that to myself all day long, every day, and it dragged me down big time. I was less healthy then than I am now. I was constantly feeling sick because I was making myself sick with the way I was thinking about myself. It really makes a difference, y'all, because that was one of the first things that I started to shift before I started really doing my up leveling. It really makes a difference. Got anything to add to
It
that, Katie, before we move forward?
Well, yeah, it goes along the lines with gratitude. So anytime you're spiraling, which we all spiral, and then we feel helpless and we get into victim mode, and sometimes it lasts a day. Other people tend to sit in it for years without because they don't know how to shift it. But starting with a simple gratitude, like what good happened today? And if nothing good happened today, like what lessons did you come? Like what did you learn from it? What are you getting? What is the universe trying to tell you? Is always ways to start to shift that perspective so that you can start to speak a little nicer to yourself because throughout the day there's always positive things even when you're spiraling. Um, Abraham Hicks and I cannot remember what it is called, but they have a it's a gratitude thing where you just start naming things. Anything from your past that made you happy. It could be the sun, it could be a blanket, it could be, the cats, it could be a book that you read when you were 13 that changed your life immensely. So leaning into each aspect of that and feeling the gratitude and feeling the positivity and then holding on to the positivity for as long as you can. Because what happens is your emotions, I mean, really on a scientific level, emotions are chemical. And we have all these emotions. And when you are telling your body how bad you feel or how sad you are, or this is your problem and you're owning it, what you're doing is you're getting these chemicals to actually produce, that's producing more and more of the lower vibrations, the kind of the feelings of depression, the sadness, the anxiety, and then you get stuck in this like ultimate circle that really feels like you can't pull yourself out of it. And if you can start by simply being aware of how shitty you're talking to yourself, that is the biggest step. If it's in your conscious awareness, that's when you have the ability to actually shift, heal, and change those patterns.
Absolutely. And so whenever you're learning to pay attention and building that awareness, keep in mind how your self-talk is making you feel in that moment. Um, Understand what you want to do down to the specifics. I like intentionally grow your gratitude practices. And then when you find yourself getting into those states of spiraling and negative self-talk and like kicking your own tail feathers, um, then the chances are more likely that you'll catch it sooner each time.
And
And
it'll be
sometimes,
easier to pull yourself out.
yes, exactly. Um, Utilize true statements. That is a big one. Uh, our energetic systems don't really understand the word not. So whenever you say, I do not want to do that, but in the back of your head, your brain is going, oh, I want to do that. I want to, I shouldn't touch the thing. I should not touch the thing. But the back of your brain hears, I'm going to touch the thing. Like, um, because there's just something about that word that does not give it's a logical word. It's not really an energetic word, if that makes sense. So, the more you speak true things about yourself and things that you do want, then that also makes it easier to do the shift, both energetically and in practice.
Or to do the shit. That is what my brain translated that into. Um, the self talk is a tricky one, especially for people that have been verbally abused their whole life. Because the self talk that you are giving to yourself is not, it actually isn't yours. You're just repeating everything that you've heard and the patterns of what you've heard. So looking at what you're telling yourself. It's not just like, oh, I thought this. You want to get into it and you want to look at it and you want to see, is that really how you feel about yourself? Or is that just something that has been shoved down your throat so often that you've taken it on as your truth? And once you realize it's not, again, it's going to be easier to let go.
If you don't mind, I'm going to highlight what you just said with a little bit of a story, just a small one. We have someone that we adopted into our family, and we call him our children's pawpaw. But he's really not related to us in any manner. We just adopted him. And, he was told out throughout his whole childhood that he was stupid, and you couldn't. I mean, you can't hold a conversation with this man and that thought ever cross your mind because he's very sharp-witted. He's got all his faculties. He can remember things from way back when. I mean, he's very intelligent. He's very dedicated to certain subjects that mean a lot to him. And what it turned out was he was dyslexic, and he had grown up in a time whenever dyslexia was not well known. It wasn't understood, and so he would get things scrambled especially in his English classes, he would kind of scramble things up. But he to this day he will still come out and say, "I'm just a dumb redneck guy." And it's like, no, that's just what you were fed from your childhood. You are really very intelligent. And look at all this stuff that you can talk about for hours without any kind of prompt in front of you, but you still believe this. Why? That's how much it makes a difference whenever you're talked to a certain way in your childhood. And you have to recognize the harm that it has caused you and intentionally make the shifts in order for you to not keep that in your belief system.
Well, and it affects your perception, your vision, your feelings on everything. Like I've been called fat my entire life, and I've now lost 110 pounds. The last time I looked, and when I look in the, I'm still wearing clothes that are too big. And when I look in the mirror, I still see that, a 320-pound person. And I am not that, but it is the belief, you know, being shoved down your throat over and over and over again. And you notice this a lot with women and kids that have been bullied. Their perception of themselves are so twisted. That is a whole other topic that we could get into and tell you how to fix that as well. But it's a whole other class.
Well, we're on the topic though.
We
We
are.
do talk about a whole lot of shadow work and trauma healing and healing your human with Candy and Katie. So if that is something that resonates with you, we would be absolutely delighted to see you in that membership because we're going to take care of you and try to get some of that shifted out.
Yeah, you don't need to carry that your whole life.
No, it is not a burden you have to keep.
Well, and there are, getting back to the mindset and your thinking, there are 1,000 ways to shift that. But we're going to share some of those. But ultimately, you need to have the tools because this isn't like somebody told me the other day that they have no more healing to do because their guides told them they were perfectly good. And I cringed. I cringed a lot. Like I literally had like a gut reaction of, oh no, 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 no. Because healing is growth. We're supposed to grow. Healing doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be excruciatingly painful, but healing is growth. And every opportunity is an opportunity to grow, which therefore is an opportunity to heal. I totally went left field with this because that really is in my awareness. Um, okay, so what we want to do is give you the tools so when another layer comes up, that you have what you need in order to shift through it. That is important. You have everything that you could possibly need. And so with shifting mindset, we could say, journaling prompts, writing down all of your beliefs and looking at them, seeing is it your belief or did it come from your family? And going that route, you break it up into finances and relationships and intimate relationships and you get as specific with every life category as you can. For some people, that's a little too much. Um, Other people like to do simple meditations where you're pulling your stuff up and you're learning energetic techniques to push it out. Um, I That's kind of more what I do. Um, Healing modalities. Uh, let's see. There are other tools that we're not going to promote just because I don't want to say that on YouTube. But in the group, I'd be more than happy to share other ways to open up your mind and allow the trauma and the limiting beliefs to come up in a very easy way. I also think that for me personally, I'm going to share my personal. The limiting beliefs that come up for me and how I shift them is I look at where I'm stuck because it's a very obvious when I have hit a wall and I'm not moving forward. So looking at where in my life, and then I go into that energy because I'm a feeler. Like I feel energy very intensely. Everybody else's, the energy of, business, work, love, happiness, whatever the, I don't know what I'm doing to my hair. Um, better. So, um, feeling. So I feel into where I'm stuck, and then I go in and I start to dissect the energy. Dissecting the energy and going in about as deep as possible gives me where the root cause is that I need to work on. And usually, what we are all trying to heal is definitely not what we're supposed to be healing. So, with that being said, there are several ways to approach this. You approach it energetically, you approach it with your human, you approach it from like a, what do I want to say, like a psychology type approach. And, you really have to incorporate movement to get the energy out of your body.
And that's one
That
of the things that
actually,
we do best in our membership
well, and it
is we
really
get
does help with mindset, getting that
mhm,
stuff out of your body.
mhm. But we do a lot of tangible, simple tools to help you do any kind of shifting that you might have to do. And like small things that you can use to integrate into like even the most busy mom. I'm a mom of three littles, age 5 and under. And if I can manage to get these worked into my schedule, then so can you. Like it's definitely doable and they're easy to apply.
Well, and I'm a full-time business owner, and so this is what I do constantly. And I still like find the time to work on this because I want to be the best version that I can be for each person that I show up for and who shows up for me and my family.
It's amazing how much that our relationship with ourself kind of trickles into our ability to be there for other people.
And most people still, they think they understand that but do not.
And they don't understand how complex and intricate it is for our mind, body, and spirit to all kind of tie together.
Hmm.
And that's something else that we cover in the membership because it's way too much for us for a short master class. But
It is. Stop owning your body and your mind as your own and learn to use them as tools. That's pretty much my little tidbit into what we discuss in regards to that.
I have found that some of the deepest and most profound wisdoms are actually the most simple. And that's what we're trying to do is break down all of the mysterious esoterics into just very easy human steps.
Yeah, because people just don't connect the two.
Hmm.
You're either up here or you're down here. And so your job as a human is to learn how to use the two together, how to use your body, how to use your mind, how to see them from a different perspective, how to not own your trauma. I did use the word not. Um, but yeah, don't own your trauma. Like, this is things that you have to do in order to live your best life. And the question is, are you willing to do it?
Because doing the work is the aspect that most people resist. Like, give me the easy way out. Give me the pill to take. Give me the the doctor diagnosis so I can feel like it's out of my hands. But you have power and you choose. And there are some things sure that maybe you can't choose or maybe things that weren't meant to be changed. But there's a lot of things that we do have the power to change.
There's fear. Sorry, I'm feeling the energy. That's what it is. It's fear about taking things and taking power into your own hands and being able to work on yourself. It's scary to think that I can do this and it's easier to have somebody else. And I use the word fix, and I don't like that word, but it's easier to have somebody fix me. I can pick apart anybody's energy and tell you what's wrong and where you're blocked. And I mean, Candy, it can be gut wrenchingly painful, but it gets the job done. However, Do you really want to have to go back to somebody to do that for the rest of your life? Because I know I don't.
Mm-mm.
Like, you want to have the power to just keep going and to heal yourself and to create the life without going to 10 different healers that one specializes in money and one does past lives and one does this and one does that. Like, it's time for everybody to take control of their energy, because we're entering a time when relying on everybody else to fix our shit isn't going to be doable anymore.
So either you fix it or it's not going to get fixed.
Yep.
And those are two different pools of hard that you have to choose which one you want to go for.
And we're both very adamant about teaching people. So I can teach you the woo. I can teach you anything woo that you want to know. Kandi brings the woo on a tangible level, which is the tools that she has presented. Um, her content is amazing. My healing abilities and channeling is amazing. And together, this just works. So if you are ready to heal and take your life to the next level, this is for you.
Absolutely.
Is there any other points on that we missed?
I think we covered everything that we were kind of hitting at, but a lot of the things we've talked about today also really tie into our next upcoming masterclass that we're going to be doing on 11/11, which is about creating your legacy wealth as a soulpreneur. And this is just one of those aspects that we're going to be discussing, and we have about 10 or 11 more. So we would love to see you there. Um, if you can make it live, we have special awards for the people who show up for themselves and decide they want to do the work by being present and accounted for and ready to go and ready to learn.
And it's a pretty big freaking gift. So I'm excited to see who actually is going to show up and get this. Um, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited
Yeah,
too.
the energy exchange for this, it is 111. It is on 1111. We have all the numbers, supporting. Um, if you have any questions about it, feel free to, reach out to one of us. I will post links under this in the description. Um, yeah, the only thing stopping you is you. I think I will leave it at that.
We hope to see y'all there.
Thank you guys. Love you
Thanks.
lots.
Bye.
Bye.